with tears in their eyes, began to say that BFAC, Brad, through his life and the life of his family, has taken the money that they've made and been a blessing to that one person's life. Brad McMullan and BFAC make our Mississippi a better place.
Thank you so much to Jan and to everyone for allowing me to come and talk with you today. I feel it is a true privilege. I'm not originally from Mississippi, so let me make that clear. I grew up in Norman, Oklahoma, born and bred Oklahoma Sooner fan, so this last year was very, very difficult. So I had my pastor response line like right there in my speed dial. Very, very difficult year as the Sooners did not do so well. But I say this, that in life you're going to face many challenges, many opportunities, and many decisions. And one of those decisions that you're going to have to face is, do you follow your heart? Do you follow the things that you like? Because I say this to you right now, you all have been made uniquely. You like different stuff, right? There are some people that are thinking, I really like music. Maybe I want to do a career in music. Some people that may say, I really like television. I might want a career in television. I saw that some people say, hey, I want a career when it comes to athletics. I may want to teach. I may want to do medicine. I may want to do art. Guess what? It's not a coincidence that you have that passion. That's how God made you. When you have this opportunity, when you graduate, when you go off to college, graduate college, you pick your major, you do all of those things, you are going to be faced with the fork in the road of deciding, do I chase money or do I do what I'm passionate about? I tell you, I can tell you there are a number of people that make a lot of money, that live in very, very big houses and drive really nice cars that are absolutely miserable because they are not doing their passion. But I can say there are also people that make $20,000 a year that live in a very, very small apartment and drive maybe a 10-year-old car. They're the happiest people you'll ever know. If you have a passion on your heart, do it. Don't let society, don't let family force you to do something that you don't want to do. Again, you have a passion on your heart to do something, go to it. The next part of it is it's not going to be easy. Now, I grew up in Oklahoma, came to Mississippi as a news anchor. I don't know if many people have ever looked at the television business. It's not an easy profession to get into, but once you get into it, you move a lot. I had the opportunity to live in Oklahoma City, live in Joplin, Missouri, live in Beaumont, Texas, and then come here to Jackson. I say this to you, it was an unbelievable experience for me. I loved every minute of it. Now I try to tell my kids that I had the opportunity to sit on the front row of the White House press corps, which I thought was really cool. My son's more interested in the fact that I worked with Kelly Ripa. That's it. You get those fun things. I had an opportunity to speak in Las Vegas this last week at Caesar's Palace, and I'm going up there and someone's like, hey, you're the guy in Borat. And I'm like, oh goodness, here we go again. So if you've ever seen the movie Borat, yes, that's me, the TV guy in that. The other thing I get is some people think that I'm Sean the Bachelor. I'm not that guy. I get that a lot, but I say this, I loved my opportunity in television. It was great. But God called on me to get out of the boat. And I say this, that so many times when the Lord lays something on your heart, the easy thing to do, if it's a challenging thing in front of you, is to not do it. Right? I was sticking my hand in the water. But God just laid on my heart to start this company, BFAC.com. Now, most technology companies that start have multi-million-dollar investors. They have all these, innovative people that are standing there waiting in line to invent something. We started at a home right here in Madison County that did not have a garage or even a backyard. It was two guys that were literally on their knees, and they did not have much money. And it was a very difficult challenge. And I say this to you, it was not easy. In October 2010, I actually had to borrow money to feed my family. Not to pay my rent, not to pay my car payment, to actually buy food to feed my family. People today that see, hey, he drives a new Porsche, or he got a really nice Mercedes, or everything's going so great for their company. Let me tell you, it was not easy to get there. Life is about challenges. I say this so much. You are going to face challenges in your life. How many people think Babe Ruth is a great baseball player, was a great baseball player, right? 5 straight years he led the majors in home runs. In 1927, he hit 60 home runs. You know what else is crazy though? For those same 5 straight years, he led the league in strikeouts. but he was willing to get back up and try again. Heard of Walt Disney? Pretty successful guy. The mouse, you know, he's done pretty well, right? Well, what you may not know is he filed for bankruptcy. Have you ever heard of Steve Jobs? Successful guy, we love Apple. The company that he started, Apple's board of directors, brought him into a room and fired him. Fired him. He didn't complete college, he faced all these obstacles. Could he have quit? Could he have said, you know what? Maybe I'm not born to be a CEO, I just got fired from my own company, I give up. No, he fought. He worked hard to get back up. Now, I love baseball. If you go into the Baseball Hall of Fame, you know what the average for a Hall of Fame hitter is? 300. I mean, 7 out of 10 times they failed at the plate. You know, life is about challenges. Life is about failing. But what you do after you experience the failure and the challenge is the thing that matters the most. You know, Jesus said it so well, John 16:33, you will face many trials and sorrows, but take peace of mind, for I have overcome the world. God is saying to you, you won't face one challenge, one obstacle, one bad relationship, one health challenge. You're going to face many of these things. But what you do in the face of it is going to matter the most. Think of the challenges. Michael Jordan missed 9,000 shots and didn't even make his high school basketball team. He's a pretty good basketball player, right? Won a lot of NBA championships, a lot of scoring titles, a lot of MVP awards. He wasn't good enough to make his own high school basketball team. There are going to be people that are going to sit there one day and say, you're not good enough. Or you're going to apply for a job and you're not going to get it. You may apply for a scholarship and you don't get it. That doesn't mean to quit. It just means to step up and go again. You've got to work hard. How many people have heard of Tony Romo? Right? How about Kurt Warner? Great, great guy. Warren Moon, the Hall of Fame quarterback. You know what those 3 guys have in common? On the NFL draft day, on day 1, they weren't drafted. On day 2, they weren't drafted. And on day 3, they weren't drafted. All the NFL teams told Tony Romo, you are not good enough to play in this league, and no one drafted him. How's Tony Romo doing now? He's going to be starting the Pro Bowl this weekend. Warren Moon, he's in the Hall of Fame, but he wasn't good enough. No one drafted him. And that's back when they didn't have 8 rounds, they had 12. He wasn't good enough to play. Now, these are people that were told in their face they weren't good enough. Toby Keith. Should have been a cowboy. You ever heard of Toby Keith? Successful singer. He has an unbelievable story. He is from Oklahoma, so I followed him very closely. He went to Nashville. He made a cassette tape. Now, I know none of you know what that means, but this is an old, item that you could put music on. And he went to Nashville, and he went to all the record companies. And he sat down with all the record labels and gave them the CD. He had his guitar. He performed for all of them. Not 3 of them, not 5 of them, all of them. You know how many of them offered him a record contract? 0. So he called his wife back in Moore, Oklahoma and said, baby, I'm coming home. I did a performance. Nobody offered me anything. I've gone to all the labels. I've sat there. I've talked to all the talent people, and they said, I don't have what it takes. So he got on a plane, flying back to Oklahoma City, and the person he was sitting next to on the plane, shocker, worked in the music business. Now, when he found out what she did, he could have said, you know what, I'm not even going to talk to this girl. I'm not going to talk to her because all the labels told me no. You know what he did? He started talking to her about his passion for music, and that he loved to write music. And lo and behold, he was able to pull out his Walkman and have her hear his music. You know, he had 8 songs on that tape. 6 of them went #1. But you think, okay, well, he made it, right? He gets the, should have been a cowboy. He wins the new Artist Award. He gets all this stuff going his way, Grammys. Did you know that the record label 3 years later would drop him? Say, Toby Keith, that's old. Nobody likes you anymore. So you know what he did? He took an album that he started, bought the rights to it, and went to a new label, DreamWorks. And he said, I really think this album is a good one. And so they wanted to promote a different record. So they did. He waited his turn, waited his turn, waited his turn, and finally they said, all right, we'll produce the album. So they produced it because they didn't have any new people, because it was a brand new record label. Well, Should Have Been a Cowboy was not on that album, but How Do You Like Me Now was. It became the song of the year. And now, 30 million more albums sold later. It's pretty successful. You know, think of all of the people that are successful in the world today. They have failure as a part of their resume. But they decided to rise above and succeed. And I'll tell you again about our company. We're blessed. You heard of 7-Eleven? The largest retailer in the world. We built their app right here in Mississippi. Ozarka Water? We built their app. Mickey Mantle Steakhouse? We built their app. Pepsi? We built their app. The cows from Chick-fil-A? We built their app. Now, people said a Mississippi company cannot be a technology leader. Now, fortunately, we had a great example in C-Spire right here in town to know that can be done. Today, we're the #1 business texting company in the nation. There are 36, now 37, because we signed Washington State last night, not clients in 37 states. We have 37 U.S. states as clients. It's debt-free. We have no loans, no credit cards of any kind. And it was done right here in good old Mississippi. I tell you this, don't just dare to dream. Dare to live the dream. But know you're going to face challenges along the way. I love this story of a man who's on an airplane. And he's got a parachute on. And everybody is looking at this guy with his parachute on. And they're laughing at him. Going, oh my goodness, look at the guy with the parachute. So they're taking out their smartphones and they're taking pictures and they're putting it on Instagram, they're putting it on Facebook, they're tweeting it out going, look at this crazy guy on the airplane with the parachute on his back. And everybody's laughing at him. He doesn't like it. And it gets really hot. If you've ever been on an airplane, you know how hot they save the air conditioning before it takes off. So he's burning up. Well, in the flight, the drink cart lady comes by and pops his arm. He's uncomfortable because he's in a small space. People are laughing at him. And the person next to him spills their coffee in his lap. So he gets up, he takes this parachute off, and he throws it on the ground and then sits back in his seat. People taking pictures. Oh my goodness, we've got a crazy guy on our plane. Now the problem that the guy had was he was told that the parachute was going to make his flight more comfortable. There was somebody else also on the same flight at the very front of the plane who was also wearing a parachute. Now, all of the same bad things happen. People making fun of the lady, taking pictures of her. Drink cart person comes back, hits her on the arm. Person next to her spills a drink in her lap. But here's the thing, she doesn't take her parachute off. Matter of fact, she grips it tighter because she was told the plane is going to crash. The only thing that's going to save her is the parachute. And I tell you, that is your relationship with Jesus Christ. God loves you more than you can ever love yourself. He made you the way that you are today for a reason. You may wonder why I didn't get this, I didn't do this, something happened. God's plan is better for your life than your own. Again, He loves you more than you could ever love yourself. When I was in high school, when I was sitting right where you are, I applied for a job that I thought was really, really cool in television. And I didn't get it. Instead, I got assigned to cover girls' soccer. All right? So on the scale of things, it was not at the top of the list. What I didn't know is 3 weeks later, after taking that assignment in my school, Multimedia Cablevision, which was the largest cable provider in the state of Oklahoma, was looking to put girls' soccer on television. And so all of a sudden, I had my first job in television at age 18. Again, if it was my plan, I would have taken the other opportunity, and I would never be in front of you today. I wouldn't have Emmys, I wouldn't have had the experiences that I had in life. Again, sometimes you think this is better for you. God loves you more than you could ever love yourself. He made you this way for a reason. Listen to Him. And I want to leave you with this. There's a great story of Rise Above and Succeed. And I want to get it right, so I'm opening up my wonderful smartphone to be able to read this to you. This is literally a Rise Above and Succeed story. At age 9, his mom died. At age 21, he opened a store with a friend, and it went bankrupt. At age 22, he ran for public office and he lost. At age 25, he started a new business, and his business partner died, and he inherited all of the debt. At 28, he asked his girlfriend to marry him, and she said no. That's got to stink, right? Getting on one knee, you're like, I love you, and she says, yeah, I don't love you. You know, it's like watching The Bachelor. At age 30, he asked another girl to marry him, and she said yes, but a year later, she called off the engagement and struggled with severe depression. At age 32, he finally got married. At age 33, he ran for Congress and lost. At age 36, he was elected to the U.S. House, but he only served one term. At age 41, he experienced something that no parent on this earth would ever want. His son died. At age 44, he ran for the U.S. Senate and lost. At age 46, he ran for vice president and lost. But at 49, he mortgaged everything he could to run one more time for the U.S. Senate, and he lost. The crazy thing, though, is at age 51, Abraham Lincoln became president of the United States. People remember the successes of life, but the failures that took them there are key. And what you do in the face of those failures are monstrous. If you want to be the next great inventor, if you want to be the next great teacher, if you want to be the next great actor or actress, guess what? You're going to face challenges along the way. You're going to face professors that may not like you. You're going to go in for job interviews where somebody says you're just not good enough. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Believe in the passion that God gave you in your heart. You can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Just never forget to keep working hard. Thank you guys very, very much for allowing me to come talk to you today.
He has won Emmy Awards. Some of you may remember him from days when he was actually on television. He's an Oklahoma guy who has fallen in love with Mississippi.